King K. Rool, the once great leader of the Kremlin crew, versus Captain Hook, the conniving captain of the Jolly Roger. Throughout history, both fictional and non-fictional, there has been one thing that has ruled supreme over the sea. Pirates. Feared by many for their uncaring, unpredictable natures and their foreboding presence. Welcome to Danny Boy's Fight Club, the series where yours truly pits two fictional characters against each other in a hypothetical battle to the death. Today's fight will finally answer the question of who truly reigns supreme over the seven seas. Donkey Kong Country, a peaceful land where the Kong bloodline thrives, where they engaged in fun activities and games with one another, and where absolutely nothing bad ever happened. All until DK's banana hoard has been stolen, Diddy Kong is trapped in a barrel, and there are pirate crocodiles that have infested the land? This would be the doing of the Kremlin crew, a nefarious group of pirates who sought to starve the Kongs by depriving them of their food source. Okay, that's actually kinda dark for a kid's game. Well, then again, it's 90s rareware, so I probably shouldn't be surprised. All of this was coordinated by their leader, King K. Rool. Easily towering over the Kongs, King K. Rool had the ultimate grand kingly appearance. He is accompanied with a complimentary red cape and signature golden crown, which he can throw like a boomerang. As DK's rival, K. Rool is naturally comparable in strength with those glorious Kong fists, which can punch the moon out of orbit. While the moon does appear to be smaller than our actual moon, trying to measure it by comparing it in size to DK Island is kind of impossible, since the island is already inconsistent size-wise. There are instances of other moons within the Mario universe being comparable to our actual moon, so for the sake of discussion, we will assume that the moon is the same size as ours. And K. Rool consistently tanks blows from an enraged DK. This is likely to do with K. Rool's thick scales and gold-plated stomach, which is seemingly indestructible. Okay, so it is worth noting that Kremlings aren't really crocodiles, just like how the Kongs aren't really apes. Or monkeys? King K. Rool has taken on many different personas and appearances over the years, each time gaining tons of new abilities. In Donkey Kong Country 2, he wielded this awesome blunderbuss, which can not only fire cannonballs, but also spiked cannonballs and toxic gas that can reverse your controls, slow you down, or just straight up freeze you in place. Oh, and he can also use his cannon as a rocket. And while he may be portrayed as clumsy, he's definitely not dumb. I mean, he built this robot named Chaos out of his wife's best pots and pans. Wait, this guy is married? Also, apparently he is a magic user. No, really, in Donkey Kong Country 3, to fully complete the game, you need to collect banana birds to undo a seal that K. Rool placed on the Queen, trapping her in the clouds. He can also move objects with his mind, apparently, as seen in the manga. Yes, there is a manga, and it's certainly something. Also, that's what his wife looks like. Good for him, I guess. This magic thing is actually pretty consistent throughout the games, as he can use it to grow to massive sizes or even summon meteors from the sky. But just because K. Rool is big doesn't mean he's slow. In the Barrel Blast game, with a little assistance from a rocket barrel, he was able to travel at interstellar speeds. But it gets weirder. In the Donkey Kong Country TV series, K. Rool can move in stopped time. No, I am not even joking. In one of the episodes, the Crystal Coconut stopped time so that Donkey Kong could stay asleep forever. But then everyone could just move in stop time, I guess, cause why not? There are a few characters I can think of who would be terrified to fight this guy. Another thing King K. Rool tends to do is just come back from certain death. He literally made fake ending credits to make himself come back for another fight. This man just refuses to die. I wonder what else this guy has. Well, sadly, we never saw more of the king. Aside from a few cameos and appearances and crossovers, the king was left neglected. What happened to him was left a mystery. Some speculated that he had received one too many Kong-infused donks to the old scaly noggin. Others assumed that he got picked to the bone by a bunch of sharks. and others heard that he was slow cooked in an electric barbecue. But by far the most common theory was that a higher power determined that he, and by proxy the Kremlings, were unfit to continue coexisting with their Kong rivals. After being overshadowed by tikis and snowmads, it looked like a decisive end for our king. Returned. King K. Rool was back in action, and this time better than ever. After our hero DK had embarked on a journey underground, he stumbled across a rare artifact, the Banandium Root. However, the king would manage to seize possession of this item, becoming the King of Rot. In short, the Banandium Root allows its user to wish anything they want into existence, and I do mean anything. There are absolutely no rules restraining K. Rool from doing whatever he wants with this. Well, except for the wish having to be good. None of the typical genie rules apply here, as it can even revive people, meaning it could likely do the opposite as well. With the root in his hands, King K. Rool could achieve absolutely anything he wanted. Speaking of killing, apparently when Kremlings die, they get resurrected as golden skeletons, also known as croctoids. The Kremlings truly are unstoppable. K. Rool has even gone on record himself saying he could conquer the universe. And with items as powerful as the Banandium Root, I have no reason not to believe him. So yeah, this guy had a lot more nonsense than you probably thought, huh? But nonsense is K. Rool. K. Rool is nonsense. King K. Rool is the Kremling king, and he will do anything for his precious bananas. K. Rool is the resemblance of that tiny bit of greed in us all, roaring to take away everything from you bit by bit, because it's K. Rool, and he's gonna tip the scale. Fate entangled, destined forever, yin and yang.
I did this all for you! Want another funny part? I don't even like bananas! Am I enough for you now? Am I?
If only I were a kid again, to stay a kid with the fairies, the roaring seas, and those, very outdated depictions of Native Americans. Classic Disney. What I just described is the picturesque perfect land, Neverland, which just so happens to also be an island. And you know what's always on an island? Treasure! And you know what they say, treasure equals pirates. And throughout the 7 seas, there was only one who stood proud as the honored one. Captain Hook. Captain Hook only wanted one thing, to get Peter Pan. Wait, isn't Peter Pan the bad guy? Cause he just keeps capturing children for the island so that they never age. Some kind of purgatory? That doesn't matter, cause that's not who we're here to talk about today. Hook might seem to be just some regular human with some slightly superhuman showings, but nope. For this analysis, we will be considering Captain Hook's full history, thus looking into everything he has appeared in. You can't be a true pirate without your sword, flintlock pistol, and missing limb. In this case being his hand, which apparently Peter Pan fed to a crocodile. Okay, yeah, I can't blame him for wanting Peter Pan dead. Well, at least he got his hands on this nice looking hook, which is where the name comes from. Captain Hook is also a cartoon character, meaning he has several dumb tricks up his sleeve. Like a surprise bomb that was able to send Mr. Smee into space, or just breaking the laws of physics like ignoring gravity. He can use the golden hook, which can turn anything it touches into gold. The Doomstone has a similar effect, turning anything he wants into stone. He can also turn himself into a kaiju with the Mammoth Potion, or go invisible with the Ring of Invisibility. Definitely not a Lord of the Rings reference. There's also the Northwind Snowflake, which can freeze anything it hits. He could even settle a lifelong beef with help from the Crocodile Crown, which can mind control crocodiles. An item that seems weirdly poetic for him specifically to obtain. Even if he gets himself into trouble, he can always call upon the Foggy Fogger 500, which can create smoke bombs from a long distance. There's even the Golden Tiki, which can switch bodies between two people. There is also the Genie Lamp, which if Hook rubs, he turns into a genie. Except it isn't nearly as useful as it sounds, since Hook has to abide by the genie rules and he can't even make wishes on his own. Also, apparently Captain Hook can just rewrite his story? Yeah, in the game Disney Villain's Revenge, Jiminy Cricket took out the pages from various Disney stories. However, the villains of each story managed to steal these, letting them tamper with the plot itself. Oh, and also, Captain Hook is in Kingdom Hearts. Alright, it's time to tackle this. Let's just rip it off like a band-aid. This salty swashbuckler is fixated on showing the fractured who is truly in command. Captain Hook has always been an extravagantly vengeful pirate who lives life on the edge, but now his intense hypervigilance has been amplified even further, so he can perceive the minutest of flaws and weaknesses in others, and strike them where it hurts the most. Unfortunately, this part only applies when he's amped by the stellar magic or is in the Mirrorverse. There's also the whole Heartless thing. You see, in Kingdom Hearts, the Heartless are mindless, unkillable monsters beyond usual comprehension, controlled by Xehanort, and are capable of stealing your heart and erasing you from existence. It's a long story, but basically Hook was commanding an army of these guys. The Heartless can only be stopped via the power of a Keyblade, as it frees the heart trapped within. Captain Hook originally was a book character, and the animated version of himself is implied to exist in a dream world, being an embodiment of the fears of children. So, what does this mean? How do you kill a literal dream? The answer is plain and simple, just get rid of the Forever Tree, an ancient tree that contains all the magic found within Neverland. And if it disappears, so does the world itself. Hook apparently can actually do this with a big ol' bomb. It is stated several times that this bomb would be able to destroy the tree, and by extension all of Neverland. But maybe a better question is, what is Hook's true intent? To destroy Neverland? To kill Peter Pan and save the children? To rule over the entire universe? Well, we'll never know, but one thing remains certain. Hook is vicious, whether he's the good guy or the bad guy of the story, and that's what makes him the captain. Alright, it's the moment you've been waiting for. Let's settle this discussion once and for all. It's time for the fight portion of this video!
You crustaceous reptiles will know how it feels to be put down with fear. Mr. Smee, fire! Who dares repel my minions?
Clump, prepare the gangplank galleon.
So, this is the king of Kremlings. I faced your kind before.
And by the looks of it, it did not go well.
Wanna play like that, huh? How about this? Well, how about that? So you are a worthy opponent, and you are a crocodile of all things. But though you are a king, you are beneath me.
I am Kremlin. I am their king. Now we'll reclaim what to be ours.
Smee? Shmee! Ha!
Puny pirate.
Shmee! Ha!
Well, I guess you could say that Hook ruled over this battle. While K. Rool was certainly a powerhouse, Captain Hook had everything he needed to take out the Kremlin King once and for all. Namely the transmutation devices, aka the Golden Hook and the Doomstone. King K. Rool had no direct counter to being turned into gold or stone by either of these. Not to mention, Hook also held an advantage in intelligence. While both characters have had their plans backfire on them, K. Rool was significantly more clumsy. Meanwhile, Hook is portrayed as very cunning and was even successful in pulling off his plans a few times. This meant that he could very well put down K. Rool. Except, you'd think that the Banandium Root would be able to do something about that, right? And you would be correct.
Clump pirate. This is what we have been planning for. With this root, my rotten dream of turning this blasted world into bananium, much fit for a king, for me to chow one shall come true.
Dreams! You claim to hold dominion over cruel dreams of this world. You blasted crocodile! You don't even know what the true power of dreams can be when you lack the heart.
Oh, please, if he hadn't have fallen there, I would let him down to his own blind devotion. Myself. Thanks for the help.
You? Yourself? You're no king. You're...
The cruelest Kremlin you ever seen.
Well, I guess you could say that the king had this fight in the bag, hook, line, and sinker. While Captain Hook was a scheming genius, K. Rool more than made up for that in firepower. While Captain Hook's bomb could launch Mr. Spee into space, or potentially nuke that tree, K. Rool could match DK in strength, who could punch the moon. That, on top of the large variety in magic, gave him the edge, allowing him to take out the captain. Wait a minute, what about the Neverland physiology? Should he really have died to that?
Oh, please. You thought it'd be that easy? Smee, we can't waste 1 second on this war. We just need one shot, and we will be victorious. I just need one.
Blast that pirate. No matter how many times I hit him, he just resisted. I wish I had a way to counter his immortality.
This was a great war, but this is your end, idling king.
Okay, I assure you, Hook is dead for good this time. This matchup was crazy and seasickening to go through, and was far from an easy call. We've already established that K. Rool had a stats advantage, while Captain Hook had an arsenal and IQ advantage. But that put us in a weird spot. Could either kill each other permanently. King K. Rool pretty handedly countered most of Captain Hook's arsenal with no issue, until we get into the Heartless physiology. The Heartless in Kingdom Hearts were able to erase dreams from existence, meaning that they did pose a significant threat to King K. Rool. And to be fair, if this fight was run back 10 times, 4 of those would likely go to the captain. The Heartless minions could steal one's heart, which also erased their body and soul in the process, and K. Rool had no direct counter to this. Or did he? In Kingdom Hearts, only a Keyblade can counter the Heartless, as they can release the hearts trapped within. I wonder, does King K. Rool have an item that allowed him to will anything he desired into reality? An item that had almost no limits to what it could provide. The Banandium Root was an item that ended up giving the dub to the king. There was nothing stopping him from just wishing for a Keyblade, and then using it to finish off the captain for good. Captain Hook was certainly much stronger than he initially appeared. His large arsenal and insane immortality meant that he would give King K. Rool one of the toughest fights of his life. However, King K. Rool's superior strength, speed, and broken Banandium Root gave him the win. The winner is King K. Rool.
Understand mechanical hands, or the ruler of everything. Ruler of everything. I'm the ruler of everything in the end.
Without looking down, gliding around like a bumbling dragon I fly, scraping my face on the sky. Oh no, no, oh yeah.